The Peabody Family Reunion Association, which became known as the Peabody Campbell Family Association in 2003, and the annual Peabody Campbell Reunion held around the U.S., is truly the celebration of Bafofo's endearing devotion to the welfare and education of his cousin Komoja, a paragon of being my brother's keeper. The lore owes its genesis to the Presbyterian Mission School at Grasdale, Bassett County, Liberia. In 1853, Charles Deputy left Harrisburg, Pennsylvania with his wife and 6 children to serve as missionaries to Liberia. 3 of his sons grew up to be ministers, and a daughter became wife to a minister, Reverend Thomas Dillon. One son, James Henry, ministered to the people of Cape Mount. Another, Robert A.M., served the people of Carisburg. The third, John, ministered at Grasdale Mission, Grand Bassett County, on the banks of the Farmington River. When Bafofo was taken to school at Grasdale by an uncle, Geta, the Reverend John Deputy named him George Peabody, perhaps in honor of a benefactor of the school. This act was part and parcel of proselytizing the natives. The common practice was to extract the pupils from their culture and immerse them in Western civilization in an attempt to save their souls. When Bafofo returned home for his first school break, the changes in personality were apparent. His cousin Komoja, who was perhaps his most ardent admirer, was enamored to him. Komoja's father, Ba Grande, and his mother, Ploba, relented with their pleas and subterfuges, and granted consent for Komoja to go to Grasdale Mission School in the care of Bafofo. Upon arrival at school, Komoja was also given the name by the Reverend John Deputy. He was called Albert, and of course, since he and George were family, he was Albert Peabody. The duo continued schooling in Liberia. When George Bafofo won a scholarship to attend Lincoln University in 1887, he importuned the president of the university, Dr. Isaac Norton Randall, to grant acceptance to Albert for study. The favor was granted with the provision that Albert would be self-sponsored. Most of George's effort at fundraising, including the publication of his biography, George Bafofo, The Story of a Bassa Boy, was for the support of their educational objectives. For this, George was misunderstood and thought to be a conniving, money-hungry swindler. He returned to fulfill his dream of ministering to his people along the banks of the Farmington River in 1893. Albert moved to New York City. He met and married Eva, born from Barbados, West Indies. They lived in a section of Manhattan called Hell's Kitchen because of the notoriety gained by mainly immigrant residents of violence and mayhem. On March 31, 1901, they were gifted with a son, George Whittington Peabody, Uncle George. 2 years later, they immigrated to Liberia after his 16-year stay in America, arriving May 5, 1903. They were greeted with disheartening news upon their arrival. Cousin George Bafofo, his staunchest supporter, mentor, and driving wheel, was dead. Fate would strike once again, even more swiftly. His wife, Eva Peabody, succumbed to sickness and died just 3 months after arriving in Liberia. Distraught and quite disconsolate, Albert Komoja resolved to forge ahead. He married Mary Louise Page, Grandma May, the daughter of Thomas Anthony Page, a descendant of Pages from Anfield, Berryville, Clark County, Virginia, and Angie Tucker, spurring the growth of the Peabody clan. George W., Albert D., Clara Elizabeth, Rachel Amelia, and Ernest S.T. It includes the relatives of the Little Bassa, Gorbli, Seret Takbabli, Noyubli, Huenzon, Orange Grove, and descendants of Zangma Fla Take Johnny, and more. This is Grandma May's house, which stands in Marshall today. This is Albert D. Peabody Sr., his mother, Grandma May, and kids, Hugh, Stanton, Cousin Rachel, and others. The following slides will show you the Peabody Campbell family as they gather to reunite in different states within the U.S. Thank you for viewing this life. Have a nice day.